for the 52nd week of 2024, which would be the last week. But if you go on Google, it says that there are 52.1 weeks in a year. So we could all make good use of that 0.1, couldn't we? Especially as knitters. So this is the knitting news from Knit Happens Teesside, but really there wasn't a great deal going on. Jill was busy doing other things. Fee was busy being poorly again. I don't think it was the same poorly. I think it was a new poorly. So Helen and I met for a coffee, and Helen was working on her blanket in suffragette colours and deciding when it was finished, trying to decide when it was finished. But the thing about blankets is they don't have to be. They're more of a long-term sort of project, aren't they? It's not the best thing to do them with a deadline, she says, because I think it's back downstairs now. My strawberry blanket, I've done a few rows on it, and I just do a few rows now and then. So it will get there, but I'm not rushing it. While I was having a mooch about in my stash, I found these squares. This project I started a long time ago, and I can't remember what the pattern is. So the blue is chenille. And I quite like them, but I'm not inclined to make any more. I've got a stack, and there's some more downstairs drying because I've given them a little bit of a rinse. Now, I think that they either make a really cool bag, not that I need one, or a small blanket for a pussycat, or yeah, like a dog bed cover or a cat bed cover. That would be nice. Or a cushion. I don't think I'd wear it. But then again, I could. But it's a bit textured, isn't it? Anyway, ideas in the comments if you've got any. Would be good. So that's something I've found. This little guy's been on display all Christmas. He's an Allen Dart Yuletide gnome. You can probably still get hold of the pattern somewhere. It took me about 9 years to make because his arms and legs were in different bags and I'd lost them and I didn't knit them again. And you do this by, I used hairspray. I think it said use hairspray and scrunch it up. And it stayed like that. So that's quite good, isn't it? So I had that to show you. I am not wearing anything particularly different. Same thing as last week. My By the Sea, I think it's called. Little neck shawl. But I've got something really special to show you. One of my Nannys knits. Nanny who's been gone a long time. I used to have this on my bed when I was growing up. It's quite interesting to see the stitching. I don't think any of it's really come undone. It's stitched with kind of a thick, I'll show you a bit. It's like a herringbone stitch with quite a thick thread that's probably nylon, I think, maybe by the looks of it. Oh, we've got a little hole. Got a big hole. I wonder if that's them moths that we had. So I will repair this. It'll be well worth repairing because it's very special. Just have a sip of this. This is vanilla black coffee. Instant though. I was watching Mrs. D, Stitched by Mrs. D podcast, ages ago. And she was buying this coffee. And they didn't have it in our store until very recently. It's nice. this blanket. When this was on my bed, I had favourite squares, and the favourite squares were the softest ones. Can I remember now which ones they were? I remember, I think the yellow. I remember having it on my bed and like looking at it and loving all the different colours and choosing my favourite one. I suppose that's sort of thing. It is a true scrappy blanket. Have I got it all on the screen yet? Probably. Ooh. I think the paler colours, probably because they're baby wool, are the softest. Some of them are a bit fluffy. By today's standards, I don't think any of these feel particularly soft. And the things they can do with your wool these days. Some of it looks like yarn I've bought, vintage yarn I've bought since from elsewhere. And it should have even though it was in a drawer, it still has holes in it. But I mean, it should have a place of honour, really. So, like a lot of people, my nanny taught me how to knit and crochet. And from there, I just went on and used harmony books, the harmony guides, because when I was learning most of the techniques, it was before there were technique videos and things available. And I still have a few harmony guides because I think they're very, very useful to refer to. Right then, I've shown you the squares, I've shown you the gnome, I've shown you the blanket, which has got an edge of crochet. I think they're single crochet chain 1 for 2 rows and then a shell stitch around the edge. What a clever lady. Oh, I have to go and get you the hat to show you what I have finished. So my repair jobs now are 2 holes in a blanket, a hat with a hole in, another hat with it's just come undone a little bit, the crochet. I'm not repairing the little shawl, so I didn't really wear it very much, but I might sort of write the pattern down. And husband's jumper that kind of, I think the cuff's frayed on it. And I had all intentions of getting that done for Christmas. But it's not done yet. The cat actually helped me find the yarn to do it with, because I said to him, I'll fix it when I find the wool. And she kept going down the back of the sofa and creating when we got her at first. And when I cleared out that corner, there it was, in a logical place. So I thought I'll put it in a logical place. I'll put it at his side of the room, next to the sofa where he sits. The bag with the leftover wool. That'll be a good logical place to put it. I forgot where it was. Anyway, found it now. I've just got a lingering cough, but I'm not particularly poorly. Are you ready to see my latest baby knit? It's a little baby hat that should, it's a little baby strawberry hat, should I say, that should fit baby quite soon, like imminently quite soon. When it's dry, it might even be, baby might be ready. It's a very exciting day, let's put it that way. It's kind of way more exciting than Christmas at the moment round here. But I'm a bit apprehensive too. So this wasn't made in... Well, actually, this pattern is Berry Hat and it's on Ravelry, but I'll link it in the notes. I'll try to remember to do that. Now, I started it once and for some reason I had to go back. Can't remember what that reason was. And then I started it again, and I started putting my seeds on, and you could see that along the edge. So I pulled it back again and started it again, and didn't do the seeds until the roll had sat where it would naturally sit, so that I didn't have to try and block it to do that. And then I finished it off last night, so it's still a little bit damp. So then I was on Instagram and I saw Annalena Knitter had, well, I've seen these, that she's made these before, woolly pants, like woolly trousers for babies with a big ribbed waist section to keep them on, and nappy shaping between the legs. And she's making another size. She has a YouTube as well. She's making the next size up for her baby because they were so good. She needed the next size up in time for when for the last ones are too small. She needs another set. Does that make sense? So I've got some. Oh, I think it's some discontinued Raw and 4-ply probably, in sort of a grey neutral colour. I didn't do cream because I thought it might show the muck up a bit too quick, depending on how long it's going to last. So that's the waistband of Hosenmatz by Mayumi Kalichiak, which is also on Ravelry. Now, to find the English version of this pattern, I had to dibble about a bit last night. And on the pattern page on Ravelry, there's the description. And at the bottom it says, for more information. And there's a link that goes to like a blog post. So if you go to that blog post, somewhere on that, I think at the bottom of that, was another link to get the pattern in English, and it's a free pattern, and at this time of year probably a really good one to be knitting for your baby or somebody else's baby. So I thought I'd give that one a go and see how they like them, and I might get requests for more. The Latvian wool that I showed you a couple of weeks ago, I washed it this morning because it said wash before you use it because it'll soften. I mean, I'm not imminently going to use it because I keep jumping from one baby knit to another at the moment. I've washed it, and I'm glad I washed it because, well, I put it in the water and not a lot came out colour-wise. And then after a while, I sat down and had a cup of coffee and forgot about it. And when I went back, it was like a mud swamp. So I rinsed it about 3 or 4 times until it was quite clear. And now that's drying on my Aera. I don't have a tumble dryer, but this Aera is absolutely fantastic for, you know, blocking and drying your wool without putting it on a radiator or anything. I've washed all of these. I washed pillows and dried the pillows on it because I don't have a tumble dryer. It's become very useful. I even had a dog accident on a feather duvet that I had to hang over the side of the bath and wash, and managed to dry that on it before I got in bed the next night. So from me and, well, he hasn't got a name. Normie. Should we call him Normie? Do you want to go back in the loft for a year? No, I don't think I would. And you're not really any trouble, are you? No, he's a good boy. Better than that cat and them dogs. And the parrot. And the tortoise. So I think that's about it for this week. And there should be some news next week, which will be the first week of 2025. So if you are celebrating the coming in of the new year, have a good time. And let's all just hope for the best and some sanity worldwide next year. So more news, maybe next week.
That's all.